Day at Disney cost me for a family of 5.
So low-key, I love these videos. I love these types of videos because it's the most rare opportunity where you have like that trifecta that all come together and they agree on one thing. And by trifecta, I mean travel agents, casual Disney fans, and then the Disney adults. They all come together and they all agree on one commonality. And that commonality is you shouldn't be doing all that because you did way too much. But let's see what he did, because he went too hard in the paint.
Before we even got into the park, it cost me $30 just for parking. And even being a Florida resident, tickets for a family of 5 with one child under 10 was still $974.
While I agree that parking, especially if you're not an annual pass holder, parking is egregious. It is a lot of money to even spend on parking. But I probably wouldn't falter at that. I agree. It's a lot of money. But I think paying for your tickets at the front gate, that's chaos. That's chaos. And I think that's a little bit irresponsible because you could buy it online. It makes the whole process a lot more easier, and you probably save yourself $100. Now, granted, this is based on if he bought it or if he was there like a couple days ago, because there's a weird dynamic pricing, and I can assume that same deal would have been in effect if you bought it at the gate. However, you probably could have saved a little bit more time and had a little bit more planning if you just did that online or use a travel agent. It doesn't really matter. He says he's a Florida resident, so I'm sure he used the site. Nope, I can do it myself. I'm good.
Paying for the Lightning Lane was $35 per person and only would have given us speed access to 3 rides, so we opted out of that. Right after our first ride, we bought 2 waters and 3 ice creams. This totaled $29.50. After
a little bit of a pro tip, take it for what you want. If you're going to a theme park and you're going to be there for a long period of time, don't buy the ice cream. Don't buy ice cream. And if you plan on buying ice cream, bring your own water, because ice cream makes you thirsty and you're going to want to drink more water. So Mickey bars are great. Ice cream is great. But if you're going to do either or, bring your own water.
the second ride, they wanted a pretzel and I wanted a beer. This was another $19.
Make this a pro tip at any time, because already we're kind of getting into the habit of we're just buying a lot of things that just make us thirsty throughout the day, and we don't know what to do with it. So you already kind of screwed yourself at the very beginning. So you bought ice cream and you bought water, and then you're like, I'm just going to buy a beer and a pretzel, so it'll make you more thirsty. The cycle continues.
This guy right here wanted a lightsaber for $44.99, but I was a hard no. After that, it was time for lunch, so we went to the Brown Derby where we could sit down for a little bit and order a decent meal. They didn't like the options and the prices were outrageous, so we left and went somewhere else. We each ended up with a small pizza, each had a side and a small drink, totaling $44.35. After lunch, we took off and waited more lines, and we also met a few characters along the way. Once we got to Star Wars Land, we had to buy some blue milk for $10.29.
The part where it starts getting really maddening, because now we're kind of almost creating our own financial woes. So we had water, ice cream, beer, pretzel, pizza rizzo, pizza, sodas, blue milk. All the things that are going to make you thirstier. If you're getting soda, bring a water bottle. Please, please, please. You're doing yourself a disservice, because soda is going to make you very, very thirsty. And then they got out of eating, went to Batu to get blue milk. I know blue milk is a great thing, but you're going to save yourself some money on the sodas. And you had already 4 water bottles on deck, ready to go.
It tasted like a slushie with nerds on top. We took a few minutes to meet Kylo Ren.
Your courage will be tested. and rewarded.
The kids then snuck away and bought some Star Wars Coca-Cola. This was $6.50.
Stop with the sodas. Stop with the sodas. You have 4 water bottles on deck, and that. So here's a problem with those Batu Coke bottles. They hold less than a can of Coke. Stop. You just had soda. And you bought more soda. And you had 4 water bottles on deck.
But this guy said it was worth it. After the next ride, we went and had a churro, a water, and a margarita. It had been a long day at this point. That margarita was well needed. This was another $36.
You bought more water when you had 4 water bottles, 5 water bottles on deck. And you're right around the corner where they're giving away free water. You didn't need the margarita. You didn't need the churro. The fuck you doing?
And just as I thought the day was finally over, the rest of the family decided they want to go to dinner at downtown Disney Springs. This place was my literal hell. It was shoulder to shoulder in every store and restaurant. We ended up at the Formata Cocina for some Mexican food.
Brother, I'm going to tell you this very, very quietly and in your ear. This was the worst decision you could have made. Ever. Financially. This was the worst idea. Out of all the restaurants, out of all the places you can eat at Disney Springs, you picked the most expensive one on purpose. On purpose. Why would you do that? What type of madman chooses the most expensive restaurant in Disney Springs to eat? What kind of madman is talking about how much Disney is and how much they have to pay and go to the most expensive restaurant on Disney property? What type of madman does this? Who does this?
$30 for carnitas, $19 margarita, $8 corn, $30 carne asada, and then each of the kids with drinks and food were an additional $30 to $40 each, totaling $245.27 for dinner. There was some sticker shock here, and right after that, they all wanted to go shop. Luckily, it was getting late, and we decided to not go into any stores. The grand total for our day was $1,391.91.
See, you could have probably saved about $600 of that. You probably could have saved a whole lot of money. But you chose the hard route. I mean, may this be a lesson. If you're not quite sure on what you need to do and what your day's going to look like and planning and stuff like that, even if you're a Florida resident, do some research. Get yourself a travel agent if you must. I'm not a travel agent, but this guy needed one. But I definitely think that people needed to do a little bit more homework before they show up to a Disney park. That's all I'm saying. This video is crazy. But I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? Please tell me your thoughts. Did he do this whole day right, or did he do this day wrong? Am I tripping or what? This video is chaos to me.